All right. 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 Blue Book. Next chapter. Welcome, welcome. All that jazz. Introducing head girl from Pretty Girl County, Mylin Clement. Do a little wave, little what? Hey. And of course, girl best from the West. Got dragon tattoo. A T is Z. Yeah, you already know who. And of course, Southern Belle, best of the best, Rich Moshe Milan. And you know me, Miss Little E, Ilana, you know, it's just me. And of course, special guest, the OH to our IO, Dani Jones. Woo!
Happy homecoming weekend, ladies. Like, I just want to say that I'm happy to see that Dani could join us this evening because we actually met Dani 2 years ago around this time during homecoming weekend. And so welcome, friend. And you're the first guest that we've had on the Blue.
Hey.
So yay.
I'm a first guest?
First guest.
I feel honored. Oh, I feel honored, man. I met you guys 2 years ago. Now I'm the guest. Okay, I'm moving up. Okay.
So, ladies, we're going to talk about something that we've been talking about for like, it feels like the last couple of weeks, and we've talked about on the Blue Book. And that is, again, I'm sorry to have to say this man's name again, Tory Lanez. Okay, Tory Lanez. And we see that on Tuesday, Megan Thee Stallion posted an op-ed on the importance of protecting Black women. So in the op-ed, she did not name like Tory Lanez's she didn't mention his like name, but she mentioned that a man shot her twice and that her initial silence is because she wanted to protect herself out of fear for her own being and her friends. And so the op-ed, she puts that her shooting in the aftermath in the context of larger issues for Black women and Black women in violence. So she says, for those who struggle against stereotypes and not seen as angry or threatening when we stand up for ourselves and our sisters, we deserve to be protected as human beings, and we are entitled to our own anger about a laundry list of mistreatment and neglect that we suffer. So how do you feel that we literally have to talk about this man again? Because this is so freaking crazy. But then I'm also very proud about Megan coming out and actually talking about this topic and this issue.
Well, personally, I mean, I am very proud of Megan. I think as a Black woman, it's especially hard to talk about those experiences. I mean, and when we do, a lot of the times they always want to question. Well, what did this really happen? What's the police report? What do the men say about it? And we've seen this before. We've seen this with Supreme Court Justice, well, Miss Anita Hill and Mr. Thomas in that little situation. And we saw how that played out. They kept trying to go under the bus.
That was a mess.
It was a mess. So I'm glad. I mean, I think it's nice to see that Megan is really trying to take a stand, and in her most vulnerable position, she's trying to break out of that, and she's trying to say, hey, this happened to me, this is my story, and I don't want to be questioned on it. I mean, I want this is my truth, and I'm glad that she's owning that. And I know it's hard,
but yeah, like you were saying, I do agree, but I just feel sorry for her because, like you said, when Black women try to come out and talk about their experiences or what happened to Tory Lanez, Megan Thee Stallion, she has to prove to people that, yes, she got shot in the foot. Yes, she got hurt. And what's crazy is people are asking, like you said, did you cause it? Was it your fault? Did you have the gun? Okay, first of all, we need to go back to the first question. You got shot. And then when I was going through the YouTube and through the Instagram, what I saw, she had to prove that she actually got shot. And even though there's real footage, and I don't see how anybody could lie about being shot in the foot. That's so hard to lie. You got shot and you had to get surgery and you have real footage and people are still acting like, oh, is that real? and then she has to fight that. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't get it. And if a white woman had complained and she got shot, it would have been all over the news. It would have been probably a whole nother march. Honestly, a black man versus white woman. What's gonna happen? It'll be all over TV, be on CNN, NBC, everything. Megan Thee Stallion got shot, black woman. Ooh, okay, another black woman got shot. All right, hooray! Ah, next. Just sad.
I agree. Like, going back to the fact that she felt like she had to stay silent out of fear, and that so much like connects to like what you're saying. She couldn't like come out and like talk about her truth as early as she wanted to, probably because of the like the discrimination that she is a black woman. And like, do we tell the truth? Does our truth matter? And that's something like I question within like myself every day of like, you know, being in public or being in classrooms. Do the content that I say or like the truths that I share with people about black women and public health or the reasons why we might feel a certain type of way, especially with this COVID-19 vaccine and maybe the mistrust that we have for like physicians or public health professionals. But does anyone want to listen to the things that I have to say? No, not really. They don't want to hear the truth. No. And the fact is that a black woman was shot by this man, and she didn't feel like she can come forward and say what actually happened, like what happened as soon as she wanted to. And then people want evidence to say, well, you need to speak out. You need to tell me what happened. Actually tell us what happened. Like, show me the evidence that this happened. And then to me, that's crazy.
Crazy, like this happened in July. Medical documents. She posted on Instagram, and like people are still asking questions. And then like even though she had like even after she went on SNL and then like the New York Times, people still want to come back at her. Like, what more do you want? Like, she's giving literally everything, and you still don't believe her. Like, I just think that's crazy.
Wait, so who are the people? I don't. Maybe you know. I'll bring the race card. Who's actually asking her to show proof? Is it the black community, the white community? Which community is actually asking? Well, let me see if you got hurt. Why didn't you speak out before? Who's doing that?
It's the black men.
They're like asking her to like show proof, which is like black rappers. And it's just like, that's interesting, but mostly I feel like it's black men that are asking for proof.
So it's black men asking for proof.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And there's already a history about domestic violence. And mostly men are the ones who perform domestic violence on women. Oh, okay. Makes a lot of sense. Okay.
We can see that there's a big difference between George Floyd and Breonna Taylor in that situation. There's a huge difference. And that's why Megan Thee Stallion, for her to come up and like confront this and like talk about her personal experience, that she knew that it was important because it's been very stressful. I know that within my team study, our PI told us that we had the week off because she felt like we needed a break. Us as black women, we needed a break mentally that week.
I don't know. This kind of reminds me just a tad bit about the Rihanna versus Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah.
You know, how can we forget, right?
For real.
So, like, what I'm thinking, so if Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, people don't believe that she got shot, and they want to see the proof. So when it came to the Rihanna versus Chris Brown scandal or case, like, who believed what? Like, were there people that said for Rihanna that, oh, she caused it? It was her fault for aggravating Chris Brown? Was there anybody that said that? Well, obviously we see that people said that, oh, Chris Brown, you're bad. You shouldn't have done this. He's the bad guy. But were there people that, you know, flipped the card and said, well, Rihanna, look for this. She aggravated him. it was her fault for why he beat her. I don't know if y'all remember.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like, oh, she shouldn't have like taken his phone and started yelling at him and like everything like that. It was like that doesn't like excuse what he did. Like he still like messed up her face and everything.
we saw those photos, and we didn't have to see those photos, but it was just like, I mean, now, like we've all been in a little disagreement with a person that we care about, but I ain't coming out with no bruises. Like, you know, I might talk to you for a few days, but hey,
bruises. I guess that's the new thing. When you and me don't agree, bruises. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez, they had an argument in the car, and you get shot in the foot. Okay.
That was an argument in the car too.
So that's the new thing. We get angry at each other and we hurt the other person. So is that the move basically after the Megan Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez case? That's what we do?
Seems so.
Okay. I'm scared.
No, Tory Lanez was ordered 100 yards from Megan Thee Stallion, and
100 yards ain't much.
Yeah,
100 yards.
Yeah, this is the 100
yards.
Yeah. And he's not supposed to be able to contact her, and he has to release all the guns that he owns, and he's facing 2 felony charges, which is assault with a semi-automatic weapon and carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle. And he's looking at facing a maximum sentence of 23 years. So
it's 23 now?
Yeah, it's 23 years.
A little longer.
That man got money. And see, maybe within a year or two, they'll cut his sentence in half. Or he'll get away scotch-free. Not scotch-free, but he might be able to pay his way out. Like, he still has to go to jail. But he's going to come back out early and just pay his way through. And then he's going to keep quiet for a little bit. And then he's going to do famous again.
For like 6 months.
Yeah. You're going to go into hiding. You know, you won't hear nothing from him. And then...
They might deport him. They might deport him.
Oh, he is Canadian. I'd be forgetting.
I forgot.
So they'll probably send him back. They'll probably be like, you can't stay here.
But he can still make music from Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true, yeah. There's studios in Canada.
Yeah.
So either way, even if he gets deported, his reputation is kind of a bit tarnished with what happened. He's still a star.
It's not going to do much to his revenue, though.
He's still a star, and people will still pay money to go see him.
Mm-hmm.
And while he's locked up, he probably has some time to think about a new song and a new hit. So either way, he won.
That's the problem with celebrities. They can pretty much get away with anything.
Right. You can't really cancel a celebrity.
No.
It's like Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. I think we took care of him. He still gets his money.
Yeah. R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Probably still.
Wait, he's still getting money for that? For all the songs he made?
R. Kelly? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's people out there who still listen to his music. You gotta separate the artists from their music. Like, he can't do that.
No, like I saw half and half on that. Like I saw some folks that are like they don't like him anymore. They're not listening to him. They're not supporting him. And then during that time when I was on Instagram, I saw that his sales jumped up significantly. Yeah. And I'm like, you did this to all these girls. There's photo proof, journalistic proof, and people are still out there buying your album and your record.
His sales should have gone to zero.
And then while he was, did he ever go to jail, right? Did he go to jail?
Yeah, he's in jail right now.
He's in there right now.
He's in prison. He was trying to get out for COVID reasons. They said no. They said you can't do that.
Come on.
He's still making money while he's in jail. And he'll probably find a way to get out. Wow. I wish I was a star. I could do anything.
You can make music in prison. Like there are a couple of artists who try to do that. And I mean, it works, but it helps when you have people outside of prison who are going to, you know, produce that music and stuff. Like, but people try.
It's R. Kelly, so of course.
Oh, jelly.
Jelly.
U.S. Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett's discernment is being questioned after her views on the use of the N-word in the workplace had resurfaced. The Associated Press published a report on Ms. Barrett's most notable judicial opinions, which included a 2019 workplace discrimination case in which she penned the opinion that the use of the N-word in the workplace had not created a hostile or abusive working environment. So Ms. Barrett wrote on behalf of a unanimous 3-judge panel that was issued in the ruling. In the ruling, Ms. Barrett said that while she found the use of the word aberrant, the plaintiff in the case had not made a strong enough case that the harassment was occurring. So her comment was the N-word is not an egregious racial epithet. It is said that Smith can't win simply by proving that the word was uttered. He must also demonstrate that Colbert's use of the word altered the conditions of his employment and created a hostile or abusive working environment. And so, Blue Book members, what do y'all think of Barrett's statement? Is it valid?
I just want to say real quick from Ms. Barrett, like, if that's the opinion, why did Papa John's have to step down from his little position? Because we know that was the same situation. Why is he not still flying high? That man's
different. It's a different story. She's going to the Supreme Court, man.
But I'm saying
he's just a pizza man.
What I'm saying is, when we look at
he's still a part of like a pretty big chain,
yeah.
Right? He got a lot of money.
Well, depending on what I see happened, I mean, obviously it's not all that. He's not the Supreme Court.
Well, I will say that I don't know. Like, I feel like anytime something like that's uttered, it automatically creates a sense of hostility.
Honestly, like if it's not Black people saying it to, well,
even still,
ER versus A is kind of finicky when it comes to Black people saying it to Black people, but still, like, it's less hostile if Black people are saying it to each other than if anyone else was saying it. Black folks, considering like the history of oppression surrounding that word.
Based on her line of questions and how she answered each one, it doesn't give me a surprise.
Yeah, she really was not trying to give any answers to those questions at all.
Deflect.
That's what the Republican Party taught her.
But I mean, you can even see it previous confirmation, like even when was it Jeff Sessions when he was originally for Attorney General. If you watch his confirmation, it was just deflect, and then try and twist it, and then try and twist an answer to make it work for you. Even Brett Kavanaugh, girl, now that was deflect. I mean, that was a hot mess. I mean, I will say that her situation isn't as cray as Brett as Judge Kavanaugh's, but this is, I mean, it's still just deflect.
Well, did you see the senator of Hawaii when they were asking her questions?
When that happened?
Yeah, no. So the senator of Hawaii was asking her a series of questions. Because remember, she likes to play a deflection game.
Oh, yeah.
And the senator of Hawaii basically said she's Democrat, and she basically caught her at her act. And saying that, oh, okay, if you come into office, you said you're going to try and, I guess, value Ginsburg's approach or all the stuff she stands for. But your mentor was Scalia, and Scalia and Ginsburg are on two different poles. Mm-hmm. If that is your mentor, and it's like photo proof, judiciary proof, like that is your mentor. Scalia hated everything Ginsburg did, and if we put you in office, how are you going to uphold to Ginsburg's values if Scalia is your mentor and Scalia hated her? And there was like a long pause. Because she's like basically found her and like, so basically you're lying.
That hot seat. Shoot.
No, because all the other people, they would like ask a question. The guys, which was interesting, the guys just asked her questions but didn't press. But it was the women, they're the ones that went deep.
I think also because, her position on the Supreme Court can change the face of reproductive rights in the United States. So, of course, the women are going to feel a little concerned because this is, doesn't affect,
especially since we signed that petition, like all those, I don't know how many years ago it was about just denying women like abortions, and it was something else along with it. But anyway, it did not bode well for.
No, they even asked her that the decisions you're making, are you thinking about it in a real world sense? They asked that plenty of times. Are you thinking about the choices that you make, the decisions that you make, how they're going to affect real time? She said yes, but then they bring up a case, like a Democratic senator would bring up a case, and like you should just see her face. She's like, oh my gosh. But you can literally, she's like, why they ask me that? And then like the Republicans taught her, deflect. Just deflect. Go through the heat. And unfortunately, she might be elected. Just go through the heat.
Confirmed. Yeah.
And Trump will help her get in. All she gotta do is go through X amount of days of heat. Just like his other henchmen, and ta-da! Supreme Court.
We'll see.
I hope not though, but I hope not.
I really don't. I really hope this doesn't go through.
No.
There are actually petitions I've seen where they want to like block her from entering the Supreme Court, and also to like other ones for like postponing the decision until after the election.
Yeah.
So something to think about.
All could change in a month. Not officially, but when election day hits, we'll see what will happen.
It's like less than a month, right?
It's like 2 weeks, something like that. Because election day is on the 3rd of November.
Mm-hmm. That's scary.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like in 2 weeks.
November. Mm-hmm. Get those ballots together. Mail it in. Do your early voting. Do what you got to do.
I still have to open my ballot. I'm gonna get on that later today, I think.
Yeah, check that. Make sure you get that postmark. If not, just go ahead and do your early voting.
Mm-hmm.
If your state has it or your county.
Yeah, we have it.
Play with us. Go on. Sorry.
Oh yeah, we also have like ballot drop-offs. Speaking of ballot drop-offs, apparently like California Republicans have been putting up fake ballot drop-offs. So for my LA folks,
where do they find the time to do this?
They have too much time. They have way too much time.
Where did you find the time to create fake drop boxes? California is under some serious heat.
Literally just like
but
a
you have
metal
time
box,
to make
and
drop boxes?
they like printed out like this piece of paper that says ballot drop off, and they just pasted it to this box, and then they start erecting them like all over LA County. There are probably some actually outside of LA, but I haven't seen news about that yet. So
California has so much other problems to deal with. Okay.
For real, like I'm literally burning right now.
Forest fires, corona.
There's too much heat. There hasn't been any rain for several months.
We'll see how this little confirmation goes, y'all. Well, this little hearing.
So, Dani, thank you for joining us. So, let me tell y'all something. So, again, Dani, she's a very special person because she went to Spain for a year. And before COVID, Cunty was living her best life. So, Dani, can you tell us something about like
I really was.
how you got here, or like how was Spain? How was the experience?
Pre-COVID or post?
Actually, both. We would like to hear about both.
What you want? Why'd I ask? Nah, pre-COVID, it was fun. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you could set the videos, extend the middle of the day. So everybody would get up real early, like 6 to 8, and go to work. And around 1, 2 o'clock, everyone comes home, right? And depending on certain neighborhoods, the whole place would be shut down. Because see, in Spain, they mostly focus on rest. Rest is number one. In the United States, basically, we live to work. Over there, it's reverse. So I missed that tremendously. But other than that, it was so much fun. So much fun. Like you could always go out. It's a very social place. So like, no, even if you're in your room and you're like, man, I'm bored, you want to go outside. And there was a bunch of expats like me. And because, well, I think Madrid was kind of like Brooklyn in a little way. It's not like it, but it was just similar. It was so fun. Like you could actually like walk to your friend's house, walk to the bar, walk back. It was so beautiful, so nice. Oh, I just miss it. The weather was beautiful. It wasn't this cold. It was not this cold now. Like I still have my phone in like in Celsius mode because you know how in the United States they do Fahrenheit. Mm-hmm. Phone is still in Celsius. I just miss everything, man. And then COVID hit, and I was trapped inside my house, well, my apartment for like, is it like 120 days? That was rough. I will say that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Because when I first got the news, like I was in dance class. Because no, the week before, I got the news that we're going into lockdown. Me and my friend went to Germany. We were in Frankfurt for like a holiday. Because in Spain, they celebrate their holidays religiously. So you see how school starts in Spain October 1st. Within the next week, you're off on Friday. Friday to Monday, we go back on Tuesday. And then we have another break in the middle of the month. Then November comes, and then you have like another weekend break. And then December, you know how in America you have like the 2 weeks off for Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
No. Over there, you have the first week off in December. Then you go to school for 2 more weeks, and then you get 3 weeks off. So we didn't go back till January, like 13, 15, like the second week in January. Oh man, I miss all the breaks. But besides that, we were on a break and we were in Frankfurt, and my friend got sick. And that's when things started to get a little crazy, because that's when the government knew something was up, but they weren't telling people. Like we heard it in China. Cause I remember I was in the laundromat in January. I just got off my trip from Morocco for my winter break. And I remember the first case of corona that came to Madrid. I was in the laundromat and I saw the first case. But there was already like tiny cases in the Canary Islands. But they weren't taking it that seriously. Like it was there, but the government was keeping like on the hush hush. So when we went to Germany the end of February into March, that's when we started to hear that Italy is starting to close down. And then my friend got sick during the trip.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I know. It ended up with I had to go with her to the hospital to translate for her in Spanish to English. Thank God she didn't have it, because like if she had COVID-19, we're both going down. So I was like afraid like I didn't worse, and just like if I go with you, then we're stuck. Way so that was that week, and then every day started making new rules. It was finally the weekend after that. That's when we were not allowed to go outside. You don't go outside to go to the store to get essential stuff, but not to like walk around. Kids couldn't play in the playground. You couldn't go to the park. The police made sure to like mark it up. Like, you know, the police tape?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they literally put police tape all around the park.
Wow.
And all on the playground, on the playground stuff. Because people still weren't getting it. They were like, oh, we're going to go to the playground. We said not to go outside. Do not go outside. And remember, there was police patrolling everywhere. So in Madrid, they have like a metro system. So wherever all the main metro parts were, there was police everywhere. You go up the street, there's like 6, 7, 8 police. You go up the street this way, because that's going into another district. Because it's easy to walk into a district. So I lived like in Acacias. You easily walk to Lavapiés. I could easily walk to La Latina. I could easily walk to Puerto Toledo. I could easily walk. Police everywhere. Wow. And I remember I almost got stopped. Yeah, because they literally said, do not come out your house. So when I went outside, let's say I wanted to go to the bank as an excuse, I better have gone to the bank and print out a receipt. For if they stop me, I could say I went to the bank, and I can't be like, well, show us proof. Even if I wanted to go outside and stretch my legs, I had to carry like a shopping bag or like a trolley to show proof that I was doing something. Because they would try to fine me over 100 euros.
That's real bread.
Yeah, they don't. No, see, in Spain they don't play. No, if they were missing money from some budget, no, they made their money. Because people were trying to go to their vacation house. They live in Madrid, but they got a house somewhere in Barcelona, or they got a house somewhere in the south. The rule said, do not leave. Do not leave without a purpose. So they were giving fines like crazy. It's 500 euros, 1,000 euros. They said, do not be outside. So we were all trapped. That's right. Like, I remember I was standing by the bus stop to go to the grocery store. I didn't feel like walking. The police car made sure to go to alert me that, hey, you can't be here. A number of Americans got stopped because you know how over there we're not listening. Americans listen. No, we don't. In Spain, they said, okay, you don't want to listen? I got you. I got you. So I got friends that got stopped. They got harassed. Almost got the fine. It was just terrible. And if you tried to book tickets to come home, because airports knew that people were trying to escape, like the ticket for me to come back to Columbus would have been 1,000 euros.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Out it.
And then that's why I didn't leave for that reason. And plus, I'm not going to sit in no airport for 2-3 days with all them people. We still don't know what it is. So I'm going to sit for 2-3 days, 24 to 72 hours in the airport and then come back to the United States with that. You see, so that's why I'm not surprised at the major airports, New York, Florida. I'm not surprised they got hit.
Yeah.
Because every American was coming back and you could only go through the UK, Germany, Amsterdam, and all those places.
The hubs.
So yeah, it was, but after those hard times, it got better. I remember on May 2nd, that's when we were allowed to finally go outside. Myla, I think you saw it on my Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I saw y'all. Yeah.
Oh, it was a party. It was a party. Everyone came out, and they were just walking, and we went from stage 1 to 4. So like on May 2nd, we were allowed to go outside, but we weren't like allowed to go like too far. It's not until we got into stage 3, 4 that's when we were able to like go visit a friend. Maybe ride the metro, but you had to have a reason during that time. But you can still like find a way to go through the loopholes. It was so much fun. Did y'all wait? So in America, did you guys like sing and dance every day?
It was so interesting. In my neighborhood, like during that when people were taking it very seriously, and people were really in the house. I know a few people this woman would play bagpipes in the street throughout the neighborhood. Like he would practice his piping, and you'd hear like Danny Boy on the bagpipes, oh, Danny Boy, the pipes
Danny Boy
are calling. It's someone, and then someone else would go with him. They'd have like a drum, like boom, boom, like this whole little procession, like you were on the Highlands or something.
And we had processions every day.
It was just like
at the beginning, we played music and we all clapped from our balconies. And then as we got deeper into it, it got real serious. Like we had people would take turns. Like, okay, it's my apartment tomorrow, and they'll play the music, and they like reggaeton over there, so they were all like dancing salsa in the window. And then if you look down, the police and the paramedics, when they would drive through, everybody would clap for them, and so then they'll stop and they'll like dance and they're like, "Woo!" It was like a party every day.
Ven a mi barrio. Look at my neighborhood.
I like that. I mean, in that kind of situation, you need to be upbeat. You need to say,
I don't know. I mean, I'm happy they upbeat, but then what they did to a lot of the immigrants over there. So in Spain, there's a lot of Africans. And there's a lot of Chinese people. Was very surprised about that. But either way, there's a lot of Africans over there, and many of them are immigrants, and most of them are on the streets. And what the rule said, you need to be off the streets.
So what they did to them?
They find them.
Oh, okay.
They ain't got no money though.
Yeah, how you gonna find people?
See, that's the thing, but they find them.
That's silly.
So there was like a whole civil unrest with that. And then, like in the United States, they're giving free food, like the food banks, but it's not necessarily free. Immigrants weren't able to go get free food. Like they had like food banks for them, but they couldn't because they don't have like their visa or a green card and that kind of stuff. And then there was a center that gave free food. So when they actually went, didn't ask for no ID, no documents, they would still get fined because the rule says don't be outside. So that was very interesting. I'm just like, oh, that's what kind of brought to light that Spain is not all of that. Like it's a wonderful place. I would still go again, party, woo, but they got some racial tensions there for real.
Thank you.
Dani, can I ask you, like, from when we were talking the entire time, and while you were in Spain, like, what was Spain's perception of the U.S. in like your perception of the U.S. during the time you were gone during like the COVID-19 pandemic and like its beginnings and even in the middle of it? And when you see a country such as the U.S. who's not paying attention to the signs and listening to countries like Spain and France and Italy, who had high incidences of the COVID-19 and what was going on in their minds about us.
Okay, so the Spaniards, so the U.S. is seen as a superpower.
Okay.
So the UK, US, and Australia, any real English speaking country is considered a superpower, unfortunately. So a lot of people in the US think that we are everything. We are isolationists. So when Spain thinks about the US, it's like a dream. Like, oh my gosh, they think about New York, LA, Los Angeles, Florida, plenty of them over there, plenty of Hispanic people in Florida. They think the U.S. is a wonderful place. But then they're also scared of the United States because they hear the stuff that goes on. Like when George Floyd went down, it was in the news. some of they understand racism, but again, Spain has their own different type of racism. Like in Spain, they don't too much like people from South America, Central America, Latin America.
Okay.
Because they're considered darker skin. Because most of the Spaniards, if have you seen Mediterranean people, like a real Mediterranean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of fair skin.
Mm-hmm.
They're not all the way white, but if when they come to the United States, they'd be considered white. And in Spain, like the real Spaniard, they'll be considered in the United States white Spaniard. Like if you look on the form, you see Hispanic,
Yeah.
non-Hispanic, white Hispanic. That is them. So, the U.S. in their mind is a great place, wonderful. They all want to visit. Do they want to come and live? No, because they think it's dangerous. Which I have questions with that, because they all want to go to the UK, but after you saw the bombings in the UK, safer than the US. But when it came to the COVID-19, everybody was just looking at the US because like one of the last superpowers left who hasn't gotten any cases yet. Talk to the Spaniards, they're worried about the US. Again, they're just astonished and looking. When it came to the expats, like the American expats who are living in Spain, all of us were basically just waiting. We were waiting because the way how the whole world nearly shut down, started in China. Then we saw Australia shutting down, Singapore, then it's moving from east to west. And then I remember that couple weeks before the lockdown, I'm like, no, it can't happen to us. Happened just like that. Now I'm in the house, trapped, and the US, people just having fun. In Florida, all the amusement parks, Disney World, Orlando Studios was open. Y'all was acting like nothing ever happened. And in our minds, we're just like, well, we're just waiting. It's like a ticking time bomb. The US just playing around. And then when y'all got it, I mean, it was like a show. I will say, it was like a show. Like, how is America going to handle this? And it was just amazing how you guys nearly closed. Was it like 3-4 weeks?
Barrett.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't get that. In Spain, we shut down. There was no talk of opening. Like the people were angry, but they weren't angry like the US. No, they weren't. And what was interesting in Spain, you just heard the number of, we were the epicenter, so we just heard the number of cases growing and dying. Not until we got to the United States. Now we start hearing Black people are dying. Hispanic and Latinos, they're at risk. Blacks are at risk. Asians are at risk. But in Spain, you didn't hear anything like that. All you heard was people are dying, people got sick, done. They didn't, I bet they consider race, but it's not to the United States. Oh my gosh. And it really brought to my eyes like, oh wow. I kind of forgot for a minute. I'm just like, I'm just thinking everyone, just people dying. That's it. Not till we get to the US. People are dying. African Americans are at risk. Oh my gosh, my parents. Hispanics and Latinos. Oh my gosh, they're at risk. So it was just, it was a show. When I came back, June 30th, July 1st, it was just a show. Came to the airports in Spain. Everybody was spread out. France, everybody was spread out. When I went to Atlanta, you know what? It didn't look like nothing happened. They wear their mask. People spread out, but kids still jumping on each other's back. People still at the Chick-fil-A line, super long, everyone kind of close. Y'all, it's like we're having a party. Boston, we did do some social distancing. We did. And I'm like, wow. In Europe, they got this taken care of. Here, we are still We still trying to figure that out. Still trying to figure out what social distancing is. So yeah, that was my adventures pre and post COVID.
What was your experience like as a Black woman in Spain?
Ah, you know what? At first, when I first got there, I was kind of hesitant. Like, no, I had fun, but I was like, okay, I'm Black, and I don't know how these people are gonna react. Again, I didn't know there was a lot of Africans in Spain in the first place. So when they first saw me, if they don't talk to me, they'll think I'm African. But other than that, you do hear some cases of racism against like Black Americans. Well, you're Black, you're Black. There are some cases of racism over there. Well, one thing that got me upset was for Christmas. So they celebrate Christmas and the Day of the Three Kings.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas, it's a major holiday. They'll close down. But when it comes to Los Reyes Mágicos, the Three Kings,
Mm-hmm.
the whole place shuts down. Like they pay more attention to that than the birth of Jesus Christ. And when the Three Kings came to Jesus Christ, there was one that was Black. So around Christmas time, like in Sola, which was the center, you would literally see blackface. And if you go south, you will see more blackface because it's their tradition.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend, she went to the school, and the men in the school dressed up, and one of them had a black face. And when she came outside the classroom, she looked at him like, what the? She was extremely disturbed. It's disturbing to watch, like even in Seoul, like the main center. Hold on. It's just disturbing. They put like this black paint and black paint on their hands, and they're like, yeah, me and you are one. And it's like, what? That's one thing I couldn't get. It was like, I did meet some Black girls in Spain, and they did experience like little stuff, like in the beginning when you ride the metro,
Mm-hmm.
you would see people just watch you. Like you're just hopping on the train, and people would just stare you down.
Mm.
I did was stare them down back. Some of them would be like, yeah, that's what I did. Some of them would look at me. Some of them would straight up look at me, and some of them would be like, oh, I'm not looking at you. But overall, my experience was okay. There are some racist moments, but other than that, not too much of a big problem. And then again, coming from the United States, we are already racist. I've come to a conclusion, like when you're Black and you're traveling, you will always experience some slight racism. But the thing is, even if you are Black and you do travel, because you have the US passport, the UK passport, or the Australian passport, you get like a level up.
I've heard that.
So Sarah, like, you know how the Africans, when they came, oh, they're bad. Oh, we don't like them. And then there comes Black Americans, Black Brits, Black Aussies. Oh, you're fine. So there's the Africans or the Caribbean people. Then if you got that English speaking passport, UK, US, Australia, it's like you're level up. It's kind of like you're up with the white folks, just a tad bit. Because when I filled up forms, they don't ask you, sorry, do you think you're Black? Are you Hispanic? Are you Asian? What's your nationality? Done. Which is pretty freak. It was really freaking like, I'm then looking for African American and ethnicity. You American? Okay, thank you. In America, you see that box. It gets deep. So yeah. Any more questions? No?
That was informative.
Yeah, it's very informative.
It's been a whole year, man.
Yeah, welcome back.
Ladies, it is time. It is time
Oh,
for
it's
our
time.
big favorite week. Well, the bay of the week. It is our good sis, Rihanna. And she has come up with Savage X Fenty on Amazon Prime. Okay. So, I would like to hear y'all's opinions about like this show / documentary and everything in between. So, how do?
You know, those pictures look real cute. I thought they was cute. Nice colors. Very. I like the range of people, different like diversity, representation.
Shapes and sizes.
Yeah, it's very different from Victoria's Secret. 100%.
Oh, very totally. What Victoria's Secret is telling the dream. Skinny, white, tall.
Somebody's dream.
All I'm saying is,
They got some sprinkles in there. Let's not say that. They have some type of diversity.
I've gone to bed many a
One or
time.
two.
None of those women were in my dreams. That's all I'm saying. Or
I mean, honestly, I see Victoria's Secret stealing Carnival. You know how Caribbeans dress up in them costumes?
they have the big feathers and the
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like you selling it's a Caribbean thing or a cultural thing, and now you make it into a multi-million-dollar business.
Didn't you work at Pink or
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
So I worked at Pink, so I knew about little stuff. I remember, well, I was just a temporary worker, but like if you work there long enough, they have like parties where all the people from all the Victoria's Secrets in Columbus or Ohio, they come together and they watch the show. I will tell, it's kind of the atmosphere inside there is like cheerleader mentality. You know, like middle school, high school. We on the sports team, we on the cheerleading team. That's the attitude they got. But yeah, that's my take on them.
That's okay, girl. They old news. We all about the Savage Fenty now. That's what we're about.
That's right.
We're about the big mix.
How do y'all feel about Miss Marley alleging that Rihanna stole her concept for her show? That she feels like Rihanna like robbed her from like
Wait,
back.
Who said that?
Yes.
Who said that?
It's like I think she's a designer from I don't know where she's from, but her name is Marley. But she said that she stole her theme.
Little control via control.
She like did comparisons with Rihanna's most recent show, the set where she's got like this little jungle theme going. And I see how it can be somewhat similar because the like foliage from both those pictures like looks very similar to each other, but it's like, Rihanna's got like the brighter colors and she's got a little bit more flair and all that, so it's kind of a toss-up.
I think there's a little bit of similarities, but like I don't think she straight up stole her thing. But if there was like some copying, I don't think Rihanna directly did that. I think like she has people on her team that might have been like, oh, that's a little cute. Let me go tell this to Rihanna and like put it in there, kind of like when she had that Muslim song in there that she didn't know was like had a sacred verse in it. Like I don't think that was directly like from her. You know what I'm saying?
I'm looking at the pictures. They look similar.
But I feel like
it's not like she copied exactly.
It's similar. But if there really was an issue, Rihanna ain't stingy about her coins. Like if someone, because she would. What it seems like from the person that we do see, she seems like the type to if she was really down bad or did something wrong or someone really was undercut, she got out her way to make sure everybody got the proper coins. So that's what I see from the media. I don't know this woman, but that's vibe I get.
You don't know this woman.
I don't know this woman for real.
I would like to know her, man. She helped me out. Seriously. Yeah, but back with the Rihanna and how she had that scripture. I liked how she basically said, "I'm sorry for what happened," and she pulled it down.
Mhm.
Yeah. She did do that. She didn't know.
No, like she didn't try to fight and say, "Well, it's a free-for-all country, and I like this phrase, and I'm gonna put this." She didn't try to do any of that. She just said, "Okay, I'm sorry, scrap."
No fuss, no muss. No muss, no fuss.
But wasn't a couple months ago she was even in the Middle East, like Dubai or
Was she? Or she was
yes, she was. I don't know, the UAE.
that's UAE. Yeah. United Arab Emirates.
Mm-hmm.
She was out there for a good little while with the prince or whatever she was
her
doing.
little babe. Performer thing. Yeah, she was. She was a little.
Oh yeah, she definitely can't play that. Oh, this is all making
Okay,
sense.
like I don't know every classic. If I was dating, but it would.
No, even if she didn't know, because she got some type of relations, which we don't know if it's true or not. And I know while she was over there doing her thing, I know she was working.
Okay, that's true.
I know she pulled. No, these stars, they don't just go over there and have fun. Honestly, she having fun. I'll say that, but it's like,
okay, yeah, she working.
she gonna roll out with something. She out there for inspiration.
For real. She's gonna have a new line soon.
Exactly. So this whoopsie that she did, she gotta admit, because she rolling out with something pretty soon.
Ooh.
I bet she is. Come on.
Okay.
This is Rihanna. You know what they do? They go hide. People think they just having fun, chilling, and then whop out for Christmas. She whopping out with something.
Little Christmas designer fancy.
Exactly, with a little Middle Eastern flair, or
Ooh, girl, she gonna make something for the for hijabis, a little modest collection.
oh yeah,
Oh, that'd be hot.
I know. So she
because
that's why she gotta say I'm sorry and scrap that. There's money in the UAE.
We should do a Savage X Fenty like episode for the Blue Book, and we all come in and Dani is she'll be a guest again, and we just come out for Christmas
in lingerie.
Ooh. Miley, you should let us know. I could have worked out and look good.
Yeah. I mean, but no, wait. But that's the whole point of Fenty is to come as you are brand. You know, curves, edges, rolls, and everything.
Yeah.
That she would have it all. Have it all out. Let it
all be on national. No. I mean, yes, it come as you are, but I still want to look little. Get myself together, you know.
It's true. It's good. You want to feel beautiful. You want to feel.
Right. You want to edges together, just body curves, and hey, I'm the dream, and Savage is the dream. Two dreams coming together. Whoa.
Need something for my Hawaiian rolls right here.
So you need a little butter, make it shiny.
Oh yeah, lots of butter. I like butter on my biscuits. Go put some jam.
No, what's that phrase? Is it must be jelly because jam don't shake like that?
Yeah, jelly.
We all do this on the show.
Oh, you know, yes, we do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We'll see if it makes it to the episode.
Yo, we've been. I mean, like in general on this episode, we've been very serious. I feel like this is a very serious episode. Last couple of episodes, especially last episode. Woo!
So when we have a guest, it gets serious.
I mean,
we had serious topics.
Yeah, serious topics.
We did. You had me feel like I was giving a speech for a long time. I was like, "Whoo!"
You were getting in there. I was like, she's going. I'm with it.
The book.